We here.
Yeah.
Oh, stuff. My bad. I didn't even realize.
You know when it says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Kev?
I averted my eyes. I'm here. I'm live.
Yeah, live and direct.
Live and
Yo, for those who
direct.
are catching us, we normally do this on Saturday mornings when we're a lot crisper. It's Saturday afternoon, and so that's why the B-roll made it to the A stage. So we're going to rewind selector. Our producer gave us some pink slips. Kev's on probation. Reggie
Kev is
Jackson's going to
probably already
start the
asleep.
show.
That's why the
You
old
know,
man is sleepy. That's why.
Yeah, so we
That's
None
yeah,
of
why.
all of
it's
us
nap
passed
time.
our listen, we all passed our sobriety test. No one has been drinking. So
Yes.
nobody's hurting nobody. Reggie
Here we
Jack,
go.
start us off, bro.
Bam. The fugitive slave patrols, ICE, went to Minneapolis to catch Somalians and killed white citizens in the process. The nation is outraged. The black community expressed mixed feelings about the response. We'll get into it. Donald Trump posted a video depicting the Obamas as apes and faces a backlash. He really knows how to celebrate Black History Month. Jazzy Jeff shares his thoughts on older hip hop fans. A mother advocates for a child's education. And we offer our Super Bowl predictions. And then we'll close things out with the Robinson Report.
Welcome to my Mic Sounds Nice, a freestyle conversation about health, relationships, and culture. Once again, this is Tim. Always glad to be in the building with you.
My mic sounds nice. This is Kev, aka Reggie Jacks, checking in from the Bronx. Thanks for tuning in with us today.
My mic sounds nice. This is Aaron. I'm choosing violence this episode, and Kevin is the first victim.
Oh man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
How
go
y'all
ahead.
doing? How y'all doing, fellas?
We doing good. Start the shooting
good.
first.
We
Just
good.
start shooting.
So, in our pre-production discussions of having this show, I suggest, hey, let's give early thoughts on J. Cole. And Kev goes, oh, I don't know. I'm not going to have much to say about J. Cole. The show is tomorrow. I'm like, you're out in the street, man. Just, listen to it while you go food shopping. He's like, no, I'm listening to other stuff. What do you mean you listen to other stuff? I'm reading a book, so I can't listen to J. Cole right now. I'm like, you can't be ready. You have the opportunity to be ready for the show, and your book is more important. Like, is it me? I'm offended.
All right, y'all. I'm real particular about listening to my books, right? And I can only listen to books at certain times. It worked for me, right? And I literally plot out. So far this year, I'm already like 10 books in. I'm real with my books. I'm real with them. And I like to do them when I'm walking around when I can't do everything else. I probably got ADHD. I'm pretty sure I got ADHD. I can't sit and do just one thing. So I can only listen to a book when I'm walking, if I'm out in the streets doing stuff.
So you can't listen at home, like if you're just
Nah.
chilling.
Nah. If I'm cleaning, yeah. Anything else? Nah, it's not gonna work.
Is it possible that you listen to your book today?
No, because
And
it's cold. It's negative 15 degrees wind chill. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be outside.
oh god,
That's my only outside time.
you're the
You want me
worst.
to do inside activities outside and outside activities inside. You can't turn. You can't. No. No.
You're the worst. So we won't be reviewing J. Cole today because of Kevin.
And I listened to the first disc and half the second disc.
Okay. Anyway, that was my
That's about it.
offense. Yes, of yesterday.
My bad, yo. Well, you'll get a better take. We can't be these instant microwave takes anyhow, man.
No, no, you're right.
We come from an era where, where people, when we were doing reviews and hanging with people doing reviews, you have the album for a month in advance. You get to listen to it, and then write the review.
And
These are little instant takes. An hour.
rushing to be first.
Yeah. Yes, it's not legit.
Yep.
And plus, the album is an hour and 41 minutes,
Double
which is,
disc.
which
yeah.
is rare in 2026.
Yeah.
So-
With 5-minute songs. With 4 and 5 minute
So,
songs.
so the
which is-
fact that it says disc 2 and disc 39 is actually a throwback to the few double CDs that came out in hip hop, which was really a thing. Like, yo, Pot dropped a double CD that was literally full 2 albums. So we'll get into it next show. but we have enough to talk about today. So, if
We
you're
got a
willing to
lot.
put
Yes.
your gun in your holster until later, then we can, let's get in.
Let's get
Yes.
in. So we're gonna start off with the Fugitive Slave Patrols 2026, or
There you
otherwise
go.
known as ICE. Very similar. They want you to report people. They say these are the rules. They want to sanction people that don't follow the rules. Yeah, so they went into Minneapolis, and everybody knows the two people were killed, by ICE agents, and the backlash started to her. People were like, "Oh my God, we've never seen this in America. We've never seen people behave in this way," and the black community was like, "Well, there was a great skit on SNL where they were like, kind of pushing back on people saying that." And a lot. There was a number of think pieces, things on social media, Substack, and things that just black people, whether we should sit this out, whether we should become involved. How come they're recognizing it now when it's the same thing that we were saying happened to us and nobody responded? So there's a whole lot of thoughts and conversations around it. So we figured we kind of dig in for a little bit and offer our own insights.
What say you, A?
It's actually disappointing to me. I really feel like social media has made this a democracy where everyone can speak up and have equal voice, but everyone doesn't have equal knowledge. And the black community is rightfully so feeling like we've had to go through things and we've been treated incorrectly by law enforcement, by the government. And this is not a new experience for us. And now you're getting a taste of what we're getting a taste of. The mistake is, while that is true, you won't have peace anywhere. You won't have peace for yourself if everyone can't be safe. So the reason white people aren't safe now is because we weren't safe in the past. And if we want to be safe in the future, then we have to have institutions that don't endanger our lives, regardless of color. So it's a mistake for black people to say, hey, we're going to sit on the side, we're not going to be involved, because that their fight is our fight. Just as when we were being killed, it was their fight also. It was white people's fight, and they just didn't know it.
See, I question the narrative. I question where that narrative is coming from about black people sitting it out, because we can go back to when our classmate Mayor Raz Baraka was arrested outside of that ICE facility. It was a lot of black people who were up and speaking about this. And there's a high school that I'm extremely close with and work with in St. Paul, and their students are diverse, the majority black, but they were very involved. And I think if you're looking at the protest now, maybe they're saying this because certain black leaders haven't been voicing, but I feel like the communal response has been there. And now, what I was even just preparing for this, I was watching the news this morning, and there was a young, not a young man, it was a man who was deported back to Jamaica, who had been in America for 50 years and was an army veteran, came as a teenager, came legally, and so now to try to meet the quota for the amount of people they were talking about deporting, who they are looking for goes beyond what was presented during the election cycle, which was, we're just going to go down and stop people from the border. And I could see people being like, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But now they're just targeting Democratic cities and beginning to snatch everyone. Because if I was walking down the street and somebody came up to me and was like, yo, show your papers. Like, that's
Show
why
your freedom papers.
yeah, like that was why when you said the fugitive slave patrol is like beyond my license. I don't know what papers I would be showing because I ain't walking around with my passport.
You're not walking around with your passport. And imagine if you had your passport and you gave it to them for how the way that
Yeah.
they function, they might
Yeah.
cost that, and now you
Now you really screwed. So
yeah. So it's I totally understand the anger and frustration as a lifelong angry black man. It's hard because we have always been the canary in the coal mine, again and again and again, and we ask for just basic humanity, and you watch these things of us not being treated in an inhumane way, and you avert your eyes, you look someplace else. It's like, oh yeah, oh but I'm sure there was a good reason. Oh, if they only complied. Oh, if they only do this, year after year after year, generation after generation. I'm not talking about just now within the past 20 years. I'm talking about going back to slavery, since slavery, and definitely post slavery. All these things have occurred, and what you don't recognize is when the imperialists, the people in charge, when they run out of people to subjugate, they just work their way up the chain. As Tim mentioned, yeah, we're going to get rid of the worst criminals. Oh, okay. Well, we got rid of them, but we still got to get rid of more people. Oh, well, who got a citation? Oh, we run out of people's citation. Oh, who got pulled over by the police? Who got police encounters? And they're going to work their way up. And what you don't recognize, and what gets frustrating for us as people, is that the community who always seemed to feel like they were the ones that were in power, they weren't impacted. So then they averted their eyes. And now that they're impacted, like, oh my God, oh. And I love the fact when I hear there's certain people like this I've Had It podcast, every time they talk about this, they're always like, we weren't listening to black people. We ain't listened to black people for years. We ain't listened to black people for years. And I can go back to, you listened to us in 2020, and then you turned around and you gave us your behind. And it's very difficult, but we recognize overall, even though that's my feelings, I recognize it. I can't have freedom unless everybody has freedom. So
yeah, I think that to Tim's point, blacks have been involved with this ICE mobilization. I think specifically people are referring, though, Tim, to Alex Peretti and the young lady Good, the latest murders, and black people feeling like, hey, now you see you're being murdered in the streets by law enforcement,
Yes.
by a organization that represents the power structure, and I think there is a true sentiment of some black people online speaking on this, but I think it is really a mistake. And I would say to our white brethren out there, you can historically look at the time that black people have made their case known throughout our time in America since slavery, and never have the white community as a whole said, black people, you have a point. Black people, you're correct, and we need to rectify the situation. We've always had to fight. We've always been undermined and disbelieved. And I would just say, please understand that causes frustration, that causes folks to be to lose patience and to lose hope, and also now you're getting a little bit of "I told you so," and it's not the healthiest thing, but please understand where it comes from. It comes from a very human place.
I would also add that just how we talked about at the beginning of the show, we didn't want to do a Cole album review because it would have been rushed. We just kind of been speaking off the top. I think for a lot of us with our voices, there needed to be a space for a level of processing the shock, because, not in structured places, there was a lot of conversations, and I even said it too, like, yo, they shooting white people in the street? Yo, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
with
and what is-
impunity, not just shooting them, but with impunity
yes, and so
in a
what-
way that we recognize. I'm
Well,
sorry,
exactly. So no, to your thank you. I mean, because here's the thing. Let's keep the book. We're here as 357-year-old black men. What is taking place in Minneapolis with Ms. Good and the brother and the young man Peretti, I haven't seen with my eyes in my lifetime. And so there's levels to this. We have been complaining about this when local cops were doing this to us.
Yes.
Now you're seeing federal and they're not caring.
Yes.
And then there also is, I would say, that feeling of y'all voted for this.
Yeah.
Because and this and then they'll be like, well, we didn't know this was going to happen. Once again, Trump is proving to be what Trump said he was going to be.
He's always been this man.
Because okay, ICE being able to do what they're doing on the streets with impunity takes me back to his first term. And I think he was talking about cops he was in New York or something, telling
Long
cops
Island.
like, hey, when you put their heads in the car, like I'm paraphrasing, don't be nice. Just kind of shove them in the
Bang their head
car.
on it. Yeah, bang their head on the hood.
Bang their head. Okay. Someone who can say that as the president, now you get to come back, and you're coming back this time around with more power. Here we are. So but I agree with you. We shouldn't stay on the sideline, but I think other people need to understand. We need a minute because this is even beyond what we were thinking about. Because so
Specifically, go ahead, Kev.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna try not to be too angry of a rant. For our lifetime, we haven't seen something like this. But if you go back to the '60s and the civil rights era, like they were also killing white people that were aligned. The
Yep.
only difference was that an election didn't sway that. Like they were already on that trajectory. That was the time that they were on.
yes.
We understood that there was an inflection point. 2024 was an inflection point, and you had to make a choice in the decision. And we knew that bad things would occur. And then they chose.
Kev can continue, and let me just stuff
Mm-hmm.
about those people who were being murdered in the '60s. They weren't necessarily being murdered by federal
That is true. That is true.
federal agents.
That is
So,
true.
'cause
It
I'm
was the
thinking-
locals. You're right.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about in Mississippi with those freedom riders, and there were whites with blacks that were taken and killed. Death
Yeah.
to the family, death is death. But there's levels.
Yeah,
There's levels on the other side of the gun.
Yeah,
So
it's different when the federal government. But I'm just going to go back for a second. I need to point something out right now. If it's happening to people of color in the United States, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you all eventually. Right now, if I look at I hear a lot of talk about the manosphere, young white men. They have all these bad things against them. They're not getting into college. They're having all these difficult times, right? And everybody's upset. That's why they want to destroy DEI because young white men don't have a chance. If I go back 25 years, what was the talk about? Black boys not graduating, 30%, 35% graduation rate for young black boys from high school, young black and brown kids, black and brown unemployment for young males. All of these things were occurring. And you know what a majority of people did? You turned your back. You was like, oh, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. In this interconnected society, it's always going to trickle down or trickle up, however you want to do it. What affects us is going to affect you. And one day you will learn. One day the larger community will learn. I don't know if today is the day. I don't know if you're going to, be concerned now. And then 2029, you're not going to care about, you're going to forget this moment. That's what typically occurs. But you know what? I'm always down to keep trying because my rights, my family's rights, the people I love's rights, I want them to be able to be successful in this world.
There is a thing where the black voice it's almost as if the things that we say, people think it comes out of a vacuum and not from hard earned, painful learned experience, and comes with an extreme level of validity. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be understood. And I think black people are responding to the federal offices because we recognize that behavior. We recognize that I am operating with the power of the government behind me, and I don't really care about what you think, little black person in the hood who has no money. So I can disrespect you and put the force of the government behind my behavior, and you have no recourse. It is something we recognize, and not just in killings.
Killings are minute. The killings are
yes.
We always focus on the killings, but
Yes.
it's not the killings which gives us the trauma, which gives us our experiences.
Yep, it is the daily interaction with police officers that has made the black community feel this way, because we recognize the imbalance of power. So when we see what we see in Minneapolis, we recognize it instinctually because we've experienced it. And for white Americans, they're like, wow, they are acting with impunity, like they're not fearing anything. They're not fearing any retribution or concern. And that is what we live with within most of our urban communities, and an essential government occupation by our armed force. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I just jump in for that? And the point for the last person that was killed, Peretti, the week before, when he kicked in the tail light and they jumped out the car, beat him, broke his rib, and then hopped in the car and walked off.
Yeah.
We've seen the type of scenario. We've all seen the scenario where officers have pummeled somebody, assaulted a person, and then walked off like nothing.
Or they would take
Or they assaulted them, they take them in.
Or no, and it was also in Minneapolis, taking people, putting them in cars and driving them 8 miles away, and dropping them off.
Yeah.
These are all tactics that we know.
Was that video real?
Of him kicking the light? Yeah.
Yes.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was just seeing it and some people was questioning it, because it's like
it's hard to trust anything now.
You could have led with that, but yeah, as we wrap this, I mean, you just hit on so many points, and that piece of what is happening today, triggering fears and experiences, whether we firsthand live them, but they're still in our DNA. That we, and for this show, I'm saying we as us, we as 3 black men still feel some kind of way if a police car pulls behind us.
Yeah.
We will navigate, get out the lane. Real talk, I may miss my turn.
Feel
You
nervous
need
and
to
haven't
go.
done anything.
Physical reactions. Yeah.
It's like, and so in that, and this kind of thing, if you have an experience, if that's not in you, I could talk till I'm blue in the face. You're not really gonna understand. Like you said,
because oftentimes you'll hear, oh, everybody gets nervous, everybody gets concerned.
No,
like nah.
no, and so to your point, the killings are getting the headlines, but the fact that ICE is grabbing people, putting them in centers where some people are being held month, 2 months, and then, oh, you're a citizen, you can go now. What? Like, that's the same way as in the hood, you get grabbed, you know you ain't got no money for bail, and so you're just sitting there, you ain't been charged, but you're just sitting there. And so these are the things that's happening that for us, it makes us cringe, because what if one day they grab our nephew, our son, our daughter, family member? What are we supposed to do? First of all, you being grabbed by men with masks on. They've taken you someplace you don't really know where you are. Like, this is something that, I mean, our resident producer loves films and scripts. This is a script. This ain't supposed to be real life. This ain't Drop Squad 2026. And that's really what's happening. Like, if we was able to get the data, how many American citizens currently are sitting in centers while they're trying to do whatever process to prove, oh, okay, you can go. And like you said, oh, you got an outstanding parking ticket, or you had this. So any interaction with the law could lead me to getting deported. But when you was campaigning, you was talking about the rapists, the murderers, the drug kingpins, not a jaywalker who forgot to pay an old ticket in Virginia, but now, you know, we got that vile scum out of the country. What?
And if anybody knows anything about law enforcement, they can find something to lock you up over.
If they want to, yeah,
Yes.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Which is why, in the last thing I'll say, when you get a traffic stop, and they start with where you coming from and all of those questions, rather than just dealing with the ticket, it's to open up the door to do an investigation, because they know you can say the wrong thing, and now I got probable cause to bring you out the car. Now the probable cause, oh, you know, your tire is bald. You can find a way to lock somebody
Yeah,
up.
the lights out, or what have you. So we will continue to follow this and continue to use our platform and our voice
Keep an eye on this.
and keeping an eye on it. Speaking of keeping an eye on government,
Speaking to keep an eye, your boy Donald Trump, he's at it again. It's a good thing he's not racist, because otherwise people would
Great thing.
misconstrue the latest post that he put out.
and I mean, hey, you know
Who,
what?
Donald?
You know,
Is this Black History Month? I don't know, but I
Yeah.
do think that 2026 is the 100th anniversary of a recognition of Black history. It's also the 50th anniversary for it being a month, because we are all old enough. We started school when Black History was a week. It became a month in 76. Even though low key, I think my third, fourth, and fifth grade, it was still a week. Because one of the things we've learned is just because the government recognizes something, it doesn't mean everybody automatically falls in line. Salute to Chuck D and Public Enemy making the great
Arizona,
classic
yeah.
Until I Get to Arizona. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, luckily for me,
shout out to Strong Island.
it's always been a month in my household, you know, because my pops was like that. But yeah, man. So Trump puts out this post that depicting the Obamas as apes, and then says leaves it up. The White House defends it, saying people are going too far.
For 12 hours.
For 12 hours, people, you know, they defend it. And then after some people called it racist, complained, Tim Scott talked about how racist it was. Then they took it down. But then he said, no, he's not apologizing because, you know, I don't know why. People took it out of context. I mean, he's not apologizing because he's Donald Trump. He's not apologizing for anything. But, you know, what is it? When people show you who they are, believe them?
It's the gaslighting for me. It's the lying to our face and say, oh, this is about the Lion King, when the Lion King doesn't have any gorillas in it. You know, this wasn't intentional to be racist in any way. I didn't do this, a staffer did it. But I'm not apologizing. You know, like, it is the continual muddying of the waters. It's like, I feel like he's, what's my man's name, Shaggy? It wasn't me. Like, you know, I don't care if I get caught cheating. I will never, ever, ever, ever admit the truth.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, it's effective. But that is the most offensive thing I think I've ever seen a president do. And he's done so many things that it's hard to even think about that. But really, he made the president and the first lady apes.
Well, he didn't remember. He didn't do it.
He
It was
didn't.
an
Yeah,
older
the guy
thing.
did it in
He
October.
shared it.
Yeah, he did it in October. And for further clarification, the creator used other people, and for example,
It was Democrats.
AOC,
It was
yeah,
other Democrats.
yeah, AOC was a donkey. Chuck Schumer was something.
People were warthogs. They were all the animals
Yeah.
within the Lion King.
He was a
But-
meek rat. Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem, yeah, but there are
Hakeem.
no apes in it, so they had the special designation of being apes.
So just a couple of points. One, as you said, Kev, with Tim Scott, who is the only black Republican senator who was riding for Trump, hoping, I guess, he was going to be the vice president, whatever. The fact that his post, one, it was like praying that it was fake, but then it said, if it's not, this is, and this is the word that just jumped out at me, this is the most racist thing to come from this White House.
Wow.
Flow with me.
I didn't even pick up on that, bro.
Flow with me. In order for something to be the most, it has to be more than one. Right?
Yeah.
So, Tim Scott, you said, man, hope this is fake. Because if it's not, this is the most racist thing to come out of the White House. Ergo, you believe there has been other racist things that have come from the White House, but this, pun intended, trumps the list.
I didn't even peep that, and it's such a key point because what are you doing if you feel like he's putting out racist stuff?
But it also
Praying that it's fake.
But it also supports where it's like, okay, if it was a one-off, man, that was racist.
Yeah.
Versus you're racist. So if I'm saying, yo, that was the most
Yeah.
racist, there you go. Then the second, for me, one of the things for us, our show, we focus on relationships. We also focus on culture. The three of us are married men. I can count on my hand a few times I've seen my wife cry. She cried. And for her, it was about Michelle.
Yeah.
Because that's like, as a black woman who has a black daughter, I'm looking at this black woman who has two black daughters, and it's just
Two professional black women
why?
with careers.
Yeah, but it's like for her, and so this was not too long before getting on the show. Like Vanessa is she was crying, and it was having to sit there, and there's a level of that pain I can't feel.
Yeah.
And so because then for her was even connecting it to when the Melania documentary came out and the people responded by watching the Becoming documentary on Netflix, like, we're gonna make this top 10, and then Netflix reclassifies Becoming to be a children's doc, which then takes it out of its top 10. So, so for my wife, her feelings like, yo, we always have to be on the offensive. We always have to do something to just be able to be. And so this hurts. Like this, it just really hurts. And you shouldn't have to, it's like going to the doctor. At some point, if I have to always justify my pain,
Yeah.
then you may not be the right doctor for me. So in a society, do I have to over explain and give the history of the connection to the apes and then the color? Like, should I really have to still say that? And this came from the president. The last thing I'll say is this. This came from Trump's Truth Social account. when he's saying a staffer, let's keep it a buck.
In the middle of the night.
Let's keep
Because it was like late at night.
A staffer at 11:41 p.m. because that was when it went. That was when the post came. And watching the newspaper saying there's only a couple of senior level staffers who have access to his personal Truth account. So if it was a staffer, like that would be like me. Well, it was one of the producers, one of the people from My Mic Sounds Nice.
Yeah.
It's like, it's only you plus two, homie. It's like, nah, it was a commenter on YouTube. So like it is disheartening, and yeah, so it just is one of those things, man. It's hard to shake off, and people have been responding by putting up all of these pictures of them just doing different things, being themselves. But this is a fight that we still got to fight, and taking it to the earlier one. So it's like, okay, other people are offended, but we gotta handle this one.
Yeah. And then you can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
I'm gonna put it in like, yo, for real. You showed me who you are. This is what you are. I've already believed you. America, everybody's, you always want to try to gaslight us, gaslight black people, and tell us that, yeah, you know, yes, racism, yes, there's some racism, yes, there's prejudice that exists. Racism exists, but there's no racists. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. And you continually tell me this. You can tell me that yeah, oh yeah, there are some institutions. Yes, redlining was thing, but no, there's no systemic racism. How do these things happen? How in the world are we in the predicament that we are year after year amongst all these different metrics without racist people doing things? I don't. To me, it's not even a debate. The man was sued in the 60s and 70s for housing discrimination. Had to enter a consent decree. The man has been caught saying that he wouldn't have any no black accountants. Always wanted a Jewish person counting his money. Would never have black people counting his money. The man was caught, the Central Park Five, saying that these people should be killed. There's numerous racist things.
He took out a full-page ad
in the Times.
He took out a full-page ad in the Times. That's dope.
Yeah.
Wanted to have them killed, or you're like, oh yeah, all those things are in the past. He's different. Okay, fine. I will take you to the long yesteryear, 2025. You're removing Black history from parks. You're taking Rosa Parks out of stuff. You're just this year on Martin Luther King Day. Suddenly now for the Parks Department, that used to be a free day to go into the parks.
Yep.
No longer.
No more.
You took out slave references in Philadelphia.
How many black books did they ban last year? Like
yeah, you're banning black. You're banning black. You're banning black names out of the Pentagon.
Going at Juneteenth. Changing digital libraries. Yeah.
So you are who are. We know you're a racist because you do racist things.
Yeah.
And the racists know you're a racist because the racists support you. The people who openly state that they are racist, those are your supporters.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
And you won't offend them.
Stop gaslighting.
And you won't offend them. You won't say something to say, I don't stand with these people.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, to me, the biggest tragedy is y'all out there that are supporting him. Y'all out there that tell me you're not racist. That aren't really the true racists.
Yeah.
What are you turning around and what are you telling your people and your family? Oh, I really enjoy his fiscal policies. Well, if this is how he behaves, who do you think his fiscal policies are hurting? What type of decisions and choices do you think that he's making? So there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. I don't want to curse. I'm saying I don't curse. I don't want to curse. But you know what? Yep. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. And I know what time it is. So stop trying to gaslight me because I see you and I know who you are and what you are.
Get you.
And what you are.
Hey, you couldn't put a better bow on it than that. Reggie Jacks took us out on that one.
Yeah, I didn't even have any desire to say anything else. He hit the nail on the head.
A is like, listen, I just threw the pitch. I ain't even had to block. You ran, scored.
I ain't even had that plan.
He did a Barry Sanders, no offensive line. It don't matter. I'm good.
Yo, hey, me and you was looking for somebody to block. He was past us.
Like running past the old lineman who can't find anybody to block.
And then Barry would circle back and then shoot up the other side of the
Like, where's Barry at?
we run into each other. We like watching the film, like, yo, was that supposed to be the play?
Yeah, man.
I'm just irate. So you know what? We're gonna move on to some of the lighter stuff.
Yes.
What we got next?
All right. Jazzy Jeff, right? Jazzy Jeff. Tim shared this great segment. I don't know what podcast. Oh, it was with Sway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jazzy Jeff was doing an interview, and he was talking about hip hop, and I think he made the interaction where he had Grandmaster Flash on, and Grandmaster Flash came on, streaming services or whatever. So whatever, and he was saying how, as a person that gets older, when you love hip hop, you don't have any place to enjoy hip hop. So it's like you don't grow out of hip hop, you grow out of the locations where hip hop is performed.
Yes.
And it was kind of an insightful thing. I know something that we all come across. Like, I love hip hop. I'm not going to the club.
Yeah.
And how do you phrase it, Tim? You don't age out of hip hop. You age out of institutions.
His thing was, you don't age out of hip hop. You age out of location.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was just really profound, because we've had past shows, Kev, where you've shared there's these particular type of parties that you and your wife have gone to, that is an intentional design and location that is catering to a market that you identify. We're not going to the same locales that we went to in college, or that y'all went to when y'all was writing for different, hip hop based mags and things of that. We fully grown, like, and so to hear him say that, because then when he was talking about Grandmaster Flash, he was like, yo, you got to understand, there's going to be some people on this stream who haven't seen you DJ live since the 80s.
Yeah.
And so it was just the type of thing where which is why I feel that we thrived off of Versus and other things that popped off during the pandemic, because it shifted the location. Can you think about it? So for us, we're like, yo, we got large screen televisions and subwoofers in our house. Oh, I'll pay $200 to stream a good concert that's going to give me good camera work, where I'm looking right on the stage and I ain't sitting with people. I ain't paying for parking. I could get my snacks the way that I want my snacks and all of that. Like, yeah, but that's 57-year-old me. That's not us in the towers me. You know, so, but I just thought it was really interesting. What you think, A?
No, I think he's right. Kevin always invites me, and I enjoy it when I do go, to, what's it called? Freedom
Fridays.
Freedom Fridays, which is really good. Often maybe Michael Jackson, Prince, quality R&B legends, and the party, they even have an early party that starts at 7.
6
o'clock.
6 to 10.
6 to 10. And then they have a 11 o'clock party. So think about the concept.
That ain't for us.
No, it actually is. It's for the older person to be like, hey, I'll go out and listen to music.
No. I'm saying the 11 o'clock party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, the 6 to 10 is the perfect wheelhouse.
Yeah. But there aren't many duplication of that in terms of enjoyment. So we don't have parties that cater to our age, our community, and often we don't want to go out because we have responsibilities. We're tired, our body has changed, but that doesn't mean I don't want to put on EPMD, The Big Payback. you know, or that I don't want to listen to J. Cole today, or ASAP Rocky. So I do believe that Jeff is onto something, that we have aged out of certain events, but that doesn't change our love for the music. I will say that unfortunately, there are people who, because they've aged out of certain places to go, that they do let that affect their
What they
listening
listen
to music,
Oh yes, without a doubt.
and they stop listening to hip hop.
Without a doubt. Yes.
And I think that is unfortunate. But I think Jeff brings up a great point, and a point that needs to be discussed more with people our age.
You know,
Yes.
I think that, you know, as a person who, you know, who's been outside a little bit here and there, throughout life, and you know, I like a good party.
You was
I like,
outside back in the day, Kev?
you know, I like good events. You know, hell, shoot, I was at them. You know, I've been at Lyricist Lounge when they recorded and stuff. So I'm, you know, I've had good times, and I recognize in time, okay, that's no longer for me. I like, you know, we talk about Freedom Fridays. There's another group, Keystar Productions. I don't know if they're still around, but they do stuff like like a Wonderful Party. So on Stevie Wonder's birthday, Stevie Wonder all night long. They'll do Prince versus Michael Jackson party, like and things like that. And I know they used to do stuff in different cities. I know you do L.A., D.C., just around. When my son was born, and you know, my wife and I still wanted to get out and do things. There used to be this party, talking about location. It was called Baby Loves Disco. So literally, it was down in the meatpacking district. You go down there, everybody park their baby stroller. You got your baby, and it'd be a day party. A day party, everybody dancing to disco music. Had the little kids out there, little toddlers, families, everybody out there, just, you know, because you get disconnected from the location. And just because I'm old, just because I have other responsibilities, doesn't mean that I no longer enjoy and love the music.
Yeah, I think I think it is something what you said. I hope that clip triggers discussions to look at business models, because I think this is unique, and I feel like we have to fully think through what this means, because I don't know of other people who are connected so closely to a culture that lasts through the different seasons of their lives. And so what does that look like? And so there's certain events that pop up, but just on the regular, what does that look like? And because I could say for me, I thoroughly enjoyed being with you and Lou at Yankee Stadium. But that was because it was the 50th anniversary. It was the day. I had already prepared my mind to be way outside.
Yeah. You know, and then bumping into friends and things like that. Yeah, like
I can't do that normal. Like that can't be every Friday. Like, you know, whereas at one point it was. So I do hope that does happen, and I hope that it really challenges some people to come back, because I think there are a lot of people that, because they grew out of the locale, they left the music behind. Because now what I would hope is that at some point we do create some intergenerational spaces, because that's really what I think the culture needs. Because I do want to be able to hear EPMD and J. Cole and T.I. and, you know, so Rakim at the same party with, and knowing that everybody ain't gonna jump. Just like we was all at clubs where it's like, oh, this is that West Coast set. They out there doing their thing. When you hit the New York set, like, you know, everybody wasn't with Duck Down. You know? So
I have gone to, there's a Thursday night at a spot in Harlem called Row House. Thursday nights they throw this party. And it's like it's like an old players anthem. Like I'm on the young side.
You really do be outside. Hey, maybe this is Kev. Hey, maybe this is a conversation for you and I.
No, absolutely.
Because we seem to be home more. So hey, you take us out, because Kev in the street.
The last thing I'll say is that,
Oh man.
and you bring up the intergenerational thing, Tim.
But the reason I brought it up because that place is intergenerational. It's like people that are much older than us. It's like I think B Fats is the DJ or the MC
Okay.
there. So it's a yes. But go ahead, A.
There was a time, where you could introduce a Tribe Called Quest or the Native Tongues or Public Enemy to young kids growing up. I would say, let's say the mid 2000s, and they might be interested. They would go, oh wow, I this sounds different. It sounds old. It sounds dated. But I really like what you guys were doing, 20 years ago. I'm concerned now because when you introduce music, like a De La or a Quest to a 14, 15-year-old nowadays, the bar, I'm not saying that they don't like it or that they wouldn't like it, but the bar of acceptance is much higher because they listen to music in a different way. They're not listening for complexity. They're not listening for skills. They're listening for vibe and, who's hot, all of those other things that have nothing to do with being a music-centric point of view. And I'm afraid, and hopefully intergenerational places like Kevin's talking about, or conversations like I know you engage in all the time, Tim, can be even more productive because the last thing I think you want is for young people to be introduced to their music history, especially the greatest music. We're not giving them mediocre stuff.
Yeah.
When I listened to Stevie Wonder or Marvin Gaye when I was a youngster, I was getting the creme de la creme,
Yes.
and that acceptance should be easier than it is right now.
I'll say to this, that's where the locale really matters because how it is introduced, which is why having these hip hop electives in high school, like it's different. Certain things can't be introduced in a party atmosphere. It really is we sitting down and we chopping it up. So I got to give you some context to really appreciate what De La was saying when they said stakes is high.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes we get to connect it because although somebody isn't in, they're not saying those exact words, but there's somebody you're listening to that's saying the same thing, that stakes is high.
That has lived through the same
that,
harsh
that
experiences.
has lived through, and or a young person who's just living through what's happening right now.
That's what I mean. Their own experiences
Yeah.
relate because it's all a human connection.
Exactly. And so that's that for me, that's the connection where it's like I love to sit down with teenagers and play Big Things Done Change. Because they would think, because if they know Big, of course they know that he's been dead, but just based off of what's being said, it sounds current.
Yeah.
Kids are, parents are scared of us and this, that, and the other. It's like, then I tell them, like, yo, he was saying things done changed in 94.
Yeah.
So how much have they changed from 94 to 2025, 2026? So, but that wouldn't be in a party. That would be sitting down, just chopping it up or mixing it up. So, that is the key takeaway.
It's kind of like just putting things in context, which both of you guys were saying is like imagine like the Louvre, like when they had in the 1800s, you had all these different artists painting right outside the Louvre, all this great traditional art. You go into the museum, you look at the art, it's like, oh yeah, that's beautiful, or oh, this is that. But outside of the context, you don't really understand. And when somebody starts to put it into context and gives you the story, then art takes on a brand new meaning. Hip hop is art.
Yep.
We got to
Like
remember
graffiti.
that.
All right, so let's get to this woman. Go ahead, Kev.
Okay, yeah. So we had a woman, and we're gonna put it. We're gonna share it and share the links on the post.
Yeah.
So there was this woman. She was upset. Her child was early elementary school student.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten was doing some writing and basically was not writing well. Wasn't forming letters. They were not necessarily the greatest. Mixing up capitals, lower cases, messing names. Things were just wrong. So they scored them on a rubric like 1, 2, and 3. 1 was the lowest, 3 was great. So the daughter got all ones. The mother complained about it. So the mother wrote a note to the teacher. The note was I'm not going to say it was illegible, but let's just say the note was not far off from the daughter. Like you could see where the daughter was where got her struggles from, because the mother did not have a great command of the English language, of writing, grammar,
Yes,
words.
not to make fun of anything, but to give
yeah.
context. She
Right.
started, the first word was hey, and she started spelling it Hay.
Right.
Or what was spelled like
W-U-T. W-U-T, right.
Yeah, W-U-T.
Yeah. And you know, I've definitely received letters like this in the past. So basically, mom complains, teacher writes back, hey, come in for a meeting. Mother comes in for a meeting, they meet with some other people, they end up changing the daughter's grades to a 2.
Yes.
But the thing was, the mother got roasted online. And then the mother was fighting back at them, like, I don't know why you doing this. Then she asked for their opinion, and they gave her their opinion, and she didn't like the opinion. And then when they went up to 2, she let everybody know that they went up to 2, and then the people still kind of continued to
Feeling
roast her.
justified that
Yeah.
she was right.
Yeah, she felt like she was right that they raised it up to 2. She don't really know how the game is played, but you know. And just kind of thoughts about that. Sometimes, you know, the internet lets you be wrong and continue to think you right.
And let me ask you guys, as educators, is it commonplace for a parent will come in to complain and you guys will make an adjustment on the grade? Not necessarily because the parent was correct, but because it makes things a little easier to deal with, and it's not worth the fight. Have you witnessed that in education?
I've seen people make changes, not because it's worth. If you write, you're not gonna make the change. if you write, if you're gonna stand now, if there's something, if you didn't go through it with due diligence
In
with due
kindergarten,
care,
are you're saying that? Because if you notice in the discussion, they say the principal changed the grade and the teacher made the correction. Not that the teacher felt like the grade should be changed and the teacher changed the grade. She said the principal changed the grade.
yeah, I mean,
You know, for
You
me,
give me a lot of smiling, Kevin.
yeah.
You don't work for the school, man. Like,
Yeah,
So,
nah, I mean,
I'll say
I've
this.
seen it.
I'll say this. Well, you know, my brother does contract work with a lot of schools, so we ain't trying to mess up the bag, no matter how we spell bag. But
I almost lost it.
I say for me, I've never dealt with those lower grades. But one thing that I don't know took place that should have taken place when you are giving what could be viewed as an objective evaluation or subjective evaluation, were the students shown this is what 3 handwriting looks like, this is what 2 handwriting looks like, this is what 1 handwriting looks like, so that when that paper goes home, the mother gets to see that.
But can you in fairness, I'm just going to ask, can you make that clear and plain to a kindergarten student?
You can.
I mean, a 5th grade, I understand.
I mean,
But
you can explain what the letter should look like.
Yes,
and
I'm
they're
about
going to
to
try
say,
to do it.
Maybe not the 2 and the 1, but definitely, because in the video, the young man put up the dots.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
he
The old school,
definitely,
yeah,
so
right.
like definitely, that teacher to the 5-year-olds could have explained, this is what 3 handwriting looks like. Your capital letters are this size, your small ones are this size.
Okay.
If we're paying attention to spacing between your words, and so even if there was just certain points that we're focusing on, so then when the letter with the grades went home to mom, it could have been an explanation as to this is why it was a
Yeah.
1. The problem was the mom got defensive because to the mom, that writing reflected good writing because that's how she wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing that disturbed me was that rather than saying, well, what is uh
metric?
what's the metric for 3, 2, and 1, and let me help my daughter meet that. It's what my wife always talks about in education, that low expectation can creep in school districts that suffer,
Yes.
and rather than high expectation. And that's what the thing that stuck out to me with the mom. And I don't think it was intentional. I think she was just defending her daughter. However, if she had the highest expectation for her daughter to achieve the most and be the best, she would have found out what the 3 metric in required and worked to help her daughter with that. But her instinct was protection of her daughter and not improvement of her daughter.
But I
And I
think
think that's commonplace.
the instinct was to protect, but I wouldn't be surprised if part of that response by the mother was a reliving of her own academic experiences. Because if
possible.
she got through school,
Yeah. She said she went to college.
because she said she took some
Did some
college. So
Yeah,
if she
somebody put in the comments a few days.
yeah, yeah. See, now this is one thing I will tell you. If you really are trying to figure out your life, you should not do it on social media because comments are brutal. Some of them can lift you up, but the bullets that was in the comments, like my
Yeah,
wife
when they,
always tells me, she's like, you're not getting the full humor if you don't read the comments.
yeah,
Because you read
Yeah.
some of the comments, I'm like, yo, you took longer to put together the perfect comment than the post.
Yeah.
But
Some comments are ridiculous.
but what I was
yo,
gonna
they
say
said she should
is,
sit up front with her daughter.
but I think that sometimes as parents, we don't know how to we don't know how to have aspirations for our children that surpass where we are.
Yes.
That takes being really real with yourself and your own
Yeah.
shortcomings, because then it would have been, baby, I want you to do better.
Yes.
And so this is gonna go there. But I could a lot of people are not there. And that is a challenge. But yeah, so
Wrap it up, Kev. What's your thoughts?
I think when I looked at the whole situation, I'm like, okay, it was people want the grade and not necessarily the learning. And that was a perfect example of people wanting a high grade, but not necessarily the
Yeah.
education that comes with it or the development.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of experience with early education, with early elementary, although I definitely have worked in early elementary. And one of the things that people don't necessarily realize, there's so many different skills that what teachers are checking for, and they're checking to see how your development is. So like your pencil grip, you think, oh, my kid holds a pencil this way, so what? They're still writing. Those things matter because those are developmental signs and tools and signifiers in which we know, okay, I'm going to get this kid the extra support. We look down upon special ed within our own community, but you look at
Yeah.
Harvard got 40% of their students are special ed students. A lot of these Ivy League schools, there's a high number of special ed. So one of the things that we have to sometimes take a look back and be like, hey, well, if my kid's not performing here, why is my kid not performing? What can we do to support that rather than just make sure that I get this high grade? Now I know it's hard, and that's across the board. That's not only within our community. That's all communities because everybody's chasing their college dream.
Yeah.
You ask, have I ever changed? I had a student. This is an 8th grade kid. I had an 8th grade student, always acting up, not doing my work. I was like, yo, don't come to me at the end of the year asking for extra work because you need to pass in order to graduate and go to high school. And he's like, whatever, real disrespectful. It's like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I would Tell them more. I don't do that.
Do your work now.
Do your work now. Comes to June 28th. Here he comes. Hey, I got this grade. I'm failing. I need a thing. Is there any extra work you can? Him and his sister. Any extra work? I said, nah. I'm not doing that. And he's like, there's nothing you could do for me? Sister, like nothing? I said, tell your sister what I told you all year long. And he said it to him. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. You're gonna have to find another teacher to help you, but I'm not doing it. Now I wound up leaving the school that year, so I'm pretty sure they changed the grade. No, back in the day, I'm sure they changed the grade.
Hopefully he got a lesson in it, even though they changed the grade, that maybe he learned, from you.
Hey,
Yeah, but
I-
I mean, those situations are difficult, and sometimes it's easier. It's easier. So I say that to say sometimes if a teacher hasn't been as diligent as they should have kind of slacked in certain ways, then yeah, they just change the grade because that's the easiest way, and everybody's like, all right, no problems from the administration, no problems from the teacher. We just move it on.
and the fixation with grades only gets worse
Yeah,
as they grow.
yeah,
That I'm dealing with college students that are fixated on the A, and I'm trying to tell them I want the process. Like I'm literally teaching them
yeah,
the learning is in the mud. So when we're
Yeah.
doing experiential activities, I'm not expecting you to be perfect at it. I just want you to engage with it and then be able to extrapolate something from the experience and then apply it to some other attribute of your life. Like,
yeah. They
how
want
can
the
I
right
tell
answer.
you I expect you to be a hip hop expert? What is
Yeah.
that? It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if all your life has been the grade, and so mama was starting this little girl off with the pathway that has been there. So
Yeah, recipe for
hopefully they'll get
disaster.
it right.
Yes, yes.
All right, so
And that's right, RIGHT, not right, WRI. My fault.
I wish them the best. Like I said, I don't think the mom.
yeah. I hope the mom stays off of social media, or
So,
she
hey,
only, or she only
and-
sends emails.
Hey, are
It
you
gets
wishing
Grammarly.
them? Are you wishing them the best? Are you wishing them the best?
Yo, all I know is the person who took the mom's letter and marked it up in red.
Yeah, like it's like okay. How did you even do that? Like, did you
Yeah.
screenshot? Did like what?
Yo.
Like, people got too much time.
Too
on
much
their hands.
time.
Like,
I will say though, Derek Branch, who put out the video, he makes a great point. Too many times we go to the internet asking for the internet's opinion when we really don't want the internet's opinion.
you just want the internet to agree.
Support. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, she learned a lesson.
Yep.
She definitely learned
Hopefully.
a lesson. All right.
Hopefully.
Now here we go. Super
Who you
Bowl
got?
weekend.
Who you got?
Super
Who
Bowl
you got?
weekend. We
Man,
got
I
the
forgot.
the NFC Seattle Seahawks had a dominant season, and then we've got the dominant. What's that team there? The New England
Surprising
Patriots.
New England Patriots.
Surprising New England Patriots, who ran through the easiest schedule of the year. I'm not throwing any shade here. Of course I am. You know, it's Reggie Jackson throwing
Yes.
nothing but shade.
For the Patriots, you can't
No-
give
nothing-
enough shade.
nothing but shade. The New England Patriots had the easiest season of the year, but they got their new first-year coach of the year, Mike Vrabel, who
Excellent
took a awful 4-13 team of last year. And oh no, that's a different team because 51% of that team turned over, the highest turnover in the NFL. So he took a brand new team, half of the new team, and rose them to heights. Drake May in his
Then he
second
brought
year.
back Josh McDaniel or McDaniel?
Yeah, he brought back.
He brought him back, right?
Yeah, and so here we are, Super Bowl. Drake
Who you
May,
got?
runner up for the MVP.
Drake May or Sam Donald?
You got my man seeing Ghost. What you got? What you got?
You know, I'll say
Leave
it
my
is.
team alone.
It is painful that there are actually some storylines attached to the Patriots that it's like I could rock with that. That's painful because I feel like Mike Grable as a coach got shafted at Tennessee, so I feel like okay, he's
Yes.
able to give them the biggest finger in the world. And so for that, Drake May good story, but I would
Hard to
rather,
root against the young new kid. He hadn't done nothing
yeah,
to anybody.
yeah, like it's to the point where it's like, yo,
Give me time. Hold on. Give me something.
you know, this is his second year. Yes, I understand. Because here's the thing: we have all been fans of teams, and we have all been fans of the NFL long enough where our team did not take full advantage of the last place schedule like the Patriots did this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can poo-poo on them, but that is us also like, yo, there was years when my team was at the bottom. They ain't take advantage of the 4-13 schedule, and just being able to make it happen. I want Seattle to win. So yeah, I want Seattle to win, but I can honestly say I would not be mad if New England won.
Spoken like an NFC East
Yes, without a doubt.
fan.
Without a doubt. Yep, I am what I am.
Because if you was an AFC East fan,
Oh yeah. No,
yeah. No.
no.
No shade at all. No
I
shade.
went first. I went first because I know you're going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a score for us, Tim?
Twenty 28-17 Seattle.
28-17. Write this down, Kev.
Got you.
If anybody bets and wins, break me off. Or like New Edition said, hit me off.
What I should have did, I should have had us put it on the screen and screenshot it so we could next week, in 2 weeks from now. Look crazy.
No, that's enough. No.
So what you got, Kev?
Obviously, I am an avowed New England Patriot hater.
Why?
I got no.
Speak on
Why do I hate them?
Your team beat them twice.
Yeah, I know. As my man,
Speak on him. Let me count the ways.
as my man Eli said, I son Tom Brady. So, yeah, I just
Maybe they'll get in the Hall of Fame together.
maybe they're getting the Hall of Fame together. I got thoughts on that too. But anyhow, no, I'm an avowed New England hater. Although I could root for this team, like I don't got hatred for this team at all. Besides them firing,
Just the organization.
just the organization. Besides them
Yes.
firing the black coach, and just but I think that Seattle's a more dominant team. I think Seattle's better. I think Seattle's defense is obviously all world. I think that New England's offense is not as good as we think it is. I think Drake May is still a little more inconsistent. And I'm picking Seattle. I'm going to go with 31-23. 31-23, yeah.
I hope
Shout
you're right.
out to Sam Darnold. The ghosts are going away. I will stop. If he wins, I will no longer say that he sees ghosts.
Yeah, please give my man a break. I as a fan of Sam Darnold, because I think he was done wrong coming out of college and never really had a fair shake. I like that he's been able to resurrect his career. I hope that he doesn't revert in the fourth quarter to making that bad interception and costing
That he did last year.
Seattle the game. I'm picking Seattle to beat New England. I don't care if Seattle was minus 40. I'm not picking the Patriots ever. I think Robert Kraft and that organization, they've been cheaters in the past.
Facts.
And I'm not even talking about the stuff that we caught them on. I know they got a gang of stuff that they never got caught for. But anyway, I'm going to say, because the Super Bowl often can spiral out of control, I'm going to say 42-30.
You got the floodgates opening.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, we saw them. They can.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times in the Super Bowl, the emotions, you
Yeah.
know, You know, I don't think the San Diego Chargers, when they lost 55-10, I don't think that they were that bad. You know. But anyway, Kevin's like, yeah, they were.
Nah, you know I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
My dude was on that team.
Well, the first time when New England went to the Super Bowl and got blown out,
But they were that bad.
they were that bad.
They were that bad.
Yeah, they didn't.
With the
in
Bears,
in the
is it-
80s, in the 80, what, 84?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
85,
weren't.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
Bears.
didn't 85. They didn't belong there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the AFC had to send somebody.
But you know, I mean,
Somebody got to go.
we'll see. Any thoughts on the Bad Bunny performance? Besides, I don't speak Spanish.
I'm not really. I don't really know his music. I wish him the best. I hope he does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm offended by Kid Rock and Turning Point USA's alternative.
Oh yeah.
Yes, halftime show, because it's called, not that they're doing something alternative, because In Living Color did that in the early 90s, because they're calling it America something. It's like America is in the phrasing as if, oh, we're gonna give you an American halftime show.
Yeah.
When he is an American. That's why I'm offended.
Yeah, because for me, it's CNN tonight. They have a special at 10 o'clock that's going to talk about just Bad Bunny and his rise, and I'm hoping to watch it. Because I want to understand. I can't even say I'm not a fan of his music. I really haven't paid much attention to him. But the way that he is being attacked, and to Aaron's point, they've made this so political that
Yes.
it is laughable. Like
And
because
unnecessary.
yeah, it's like it should be American.
All American halftime shows with this call.
Like-
Sorry.
Like,
You know why I'm
okay.
laughing? Because that's who they are. They racist.
Show us
Yep.
who you are. Right?
They
then- and
racist.
then my
Donald
thing
Trump
is-
don't take the post down. Lead a
but
post
but
up.
but and I'm gonna say this because a lot of times people will attach the right wing and a Christian theology to this and talk about what Bad Bunny represents and other things like that. Okay, fine. But you cannot then have the counter be Kid Rock.
Yes.
It's like, yeah,
Excellent point, Tim.
because it's like
Excellent point.
because if you want to do a spiritual counter, then have a gospel halftime show or something like that.
Yes,
Like you
yes.
cannot go Kid Rock. Like that's the
Yeah.
point. I would respect if your feelings was rooted in something. Well, let's have a conversation, but you can't start off talking like the man isn't a citizen of the United States, and then it's the language, but then
Yeah.
he also represents certain sexual preferences or whatever, but then you're being led with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Stop.
Who's got a song about underage girls?
Exactly. So it's like stop. So it's
Yeah.
like so it's like pedophile is cool as long as you're white. So I'm like, I ain't got that. So that yeah.
And we also know that any of those reasons that they come up with, Tim, are all gaslighting. So
Yes.
nobody really cared. They don't really care about what's in his songs. They don't care about what he portrayed. Those are things they found afterwards because they don't even know who this man is.
Yes.
This is about him being a Latino male with Spanish music and them being offended. And once again, I'll say it. Last thing I'll say, and we can move on. America is an ignorant company in our approach to language. You go to Europe, people speak 2, 3, 4, 5 languages, and we as Americans are the only idiots who say one language, everybody needs to speak it, rather than us saying, hey, let us master as many languages as possible because it's a sign of intelligence and growth and understanding of other cultures.
But and we could leave it from here. That goes against the propaganda of America being the end all be all, and the whole world needs to subscribe to it, which is unraveling in this globalization of us as a society. Because
Yeah.
spot on, and that's really what's happening.
Yep.
Shout out. You know, I support him. I support it. I enjoy the music, but you know me, I always got a little counter. I am going to remind everybody that there's currently is a lawsuit going out against reggaeton music, against Bad Bunny and a whole bunch of different artists, which is
You're
Jamaican
off
production
screen, Kev.
companies.
Yeah, half.
Jamaican company. I'm in full screen on mine. Steely and Clive, you know, which is a lawsuit that's been going on for several years, saying that they've stole the basic dembo, the rhythm that they use. They're saying that
Yeah.
they stole it from them. So that's a lawsuit that's still in place. But you know, so
Before we get to
shout out to the origins.
before we get to what do we call it?
Robinson.
Robinson
Robinson
Report,
Report.
which we need to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to shout out real quick to 2022 in cycling. You got Rafa and Legion, the merger of the number one black cycling team in the country and the number one brand. We are in 2026 in a completely different world, but this was a beautiful time when a black cycling team had a worldwide impact. Said that we're far from those days. Anyway,
Shout out to Black History Month. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's time for the Robinson Report. Those things that are giving you life, or making you mad. I've been mad enough, so I'm not going to be that mad. So today.
all right, I'm gonna go first. Last night I went to see the comedian Josh Johnson in Huntington, Long Island. Beautiful show. He has these women called the Flower Girls. They actually did a dance set. I've never seen that at a comedy show. Josh Johnson is a comedian who I watch on television and I smile, but he is one of those.
From the Daily Show.
Yeah, from the Daily Show. It's actually crazy that when I saw him in person, he wasn't just funny or funnier than what I saw on television. He was laugh out loud, tears in my eyes, funny. And I never got that from Josh Johnson. I never felt that way about his comedy. But seeing him in person, it was an enjoyable event. I had great seats. It only cost $75. I don't know what it costs elsewhere, but if you get a chance to see him, he is well worth your money. And the unique thing about Josh is that his set changes rather quickly. So where guys work on a set for 6 months, a show from Josh Johnson a month later is different topics. So Josh Johnson, that's my Robinson Report. I had a great time, and I will go see him again. I think he's coming to NJ Pack in March.
And you forgot that he puts up a set. He puts out a set every week.
Yes, he puts out a set every week
What you got
on YouTube.
I got a book. The book that didn't allow me to. No, this wasn't the book that got in the way, but this is a book that I recently. The name of the book.
Shots fired back.
The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk.
Don't it?
Van der Kolk. Huh?
Don't the body
And-
keep the score?
The Body Keeps the Score. And basically it explores how trauma reshapes your body and your mind. And it talks about kind of the link between the trauma. Trauma is actually physical. And there are certain traumas that occur at a young age that actually change your DNA. You know, not only how your brain functions, but actually can change your DNA. And just kind of the survival mechanisms that come from that. And it kind of talks about the trauma, how trauma changes you, and then just different ways in which you can go kind of get the support and help to kind of help you move past that trauma. And that's my Robinson Report. The Body Keeps the Score.
What you got, Timothy?
Cool. I'm gonna bring two things together really quick. The way you shouted out the t-shirt line, and especially given what we was talking about earlier through the show, I want to big up this beautiful, beautiful speed skater, young black woman named Erin Jackson. She is the first black flag bearer for Team USA in Winter Olympic
Yes.
history. Shout out, you go, girl.
Yes.
My other Robinson Report is the Lauryn Hill led conducted salute to D'Angelo
Absolutely.
and Roberta Flack. masterfully done. I mean, masterfully done. But just two highlights: when Bilal sung "Untitled," yo, it's like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, like goosebump moment. And then when October London was singing Roberta Flack's part, and then Layla Hathaway comes out singing her father's part in one of their duets, for me was just great. And Lauryn Hill just
Yes.
calling the different names out. It was beautiful.
Raphael Sadiq. Yeah.
Raphael Sadiq, the band, like every person that stepped on stage could blow.
Yeah.
It was a well done performance overall. Even the Ozzy Osbourne tribute, even if you don't like rock music, like the tribute they did for Ozzy was actually great.
I'm gonna have
too.
to look at it. I'm gonna have to look it up. So, but
But
yeah,
yeah, no. You're
but
right.
that
on
brother,
your
but
Robinson
that brother
report.
Bilal, I was like, yo. So, that's it.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Cheers.
y'all.
All right, y'all. Thanks.
Till next time. This is Tim. Peace out. My mic sounds nice.
My mic sounds nice. This is Kev, aka Reggie Jacks. Happy Black
Actively
History
black,
Month.
actively black.
Actively black, baby.
Yo, matter of fact, we should go out on the CB4, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm
Black
black
and
and
black and black. My mic sounds nice. This is Aaron Legion. They were the #1 bike team in the country.
Are you gonna rock that when you do the 5 borough joint in a couple of months?
Nah,
As
I'm
a
gonna
black,
have
as a
Nah,
black
it's too cold.
cyclist?
It's too cold.
too cold for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I tried.
But all right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.